Welcome back to Global Capital Signals. Usually, I am here to tell you how to crush the market, how to extract every single dollar from the economy, and how to become a financial predator. But today, we are doing something different. I am going to peel back the curtain. I am going to show you the glitch in the matrix of success. I am ignoring the almighty algorithm for a moment. I am risking my engagement metrics to tell you the brutal truth about what happens when you win the game but lose your mind. I wish someone had grabbed me by the collar a few years ago and screamed this into my face. Because what I am about to admit cost me more than money. It cost me sanity. Almost 2 years ago, I pulled the plug. I looked at my empire of content, coffee, and real estate, and I decided to detonate parts of it. I shut down the coffee company. I liquidated real estate assets. I went from posting videos like a maniac 3 times a week to a leisurely 3 times a month. Why? Because I realized I had built a golden cage. In the beginning, it felt like freedom, but that was a lie. You see, I suffered from a chronic disease called yes addiction. Since I was 18, I said yes to everything. Every deal, every handshake, every sketchy opportunity. If I hadn't shadowed that real estate agent at 18, I would be nobody. If I hadn't helped that developer in 2010, I wouldn't have a portfolio. It created a feedback loop. I say yes, I make money. I say yes again, I make more money. My brain was wired to believe that no was a poverty word. But here is the data point I missed: this habit scales linearly until it destroys you exponentially. When you are 18 and your time is worthless, say yes. But when you actually have something to lose, no becomes the most profitable word in the English language. I didn't understand this until my calendar looked like a war zone. Every waking minute was mortgaged to a previous obligation I had agreed to 6 months ago. So I initiated a purge. If I wasn't 100% obsessed with it, I killed it. I became a serial killer of my own projects. But removing the work revealed the real problem. I had forgotten how to be a human being. I couldn't relax. I was addicted to productivity. If I wasn't generating GDP every second, I felt physically ill. My self-worth was tied to my output like a factory machine. It took months to detox. To sit in a chair and do nothing without the fear of missing out eating my internal organs. And then there was the second failure. The optimization trap. What got you here won't get you there. Write that down. I spent my life fighting for every penny. I checked my bank accounts daily like a paranoid security guard. I needed to know where every cent went. Was it a superpower? Yes. From age 18 to 30, this hyperdiscipline is what built the capital base. You need to be a little crazy to start. People loved seeing me make 20-cent coffee. It was entertainment. Watching a grown man refuse to spend $5 was hilarious to you. I would spend 20 minutes hunting for a coupon code to save 10%. I was trading the only non-renewable resource, time, for the most renewable resource, fiat currency. But it became a mental illness. An unexpected expense would ruin my week. I would obsess over a $50 overcharge like it was a national debt crisis. This wasted massive amounts of mental bandwidth. My brain was running simulations on how to save pennies while dollars were flying out the window. This led to problem number 3: I physically could not spend money. My wallet was rusted shut. Legroom on a flight? Wasteful, my brain said. Suffer for 5 hours and keep the $40. That is poverty thinking disguised as wealth. At dinner, I wouldn't order what I wanted. I ordered what offered the best calorie to dollar ratio. I was eating spreadsheets, not food. Here is the epiphany: convenience is not the enemy. Convenience is the only way to buy back your life. I started outsourcing my survival. I stopped cooking. I stopped cleaning. I started ordering prepared meals. Yes, I use a service. No, I'm not going to turn this into a cheesy ad read, but let's just say having a chef put food at my door saved me 10 hours a week. The math is simple. If your time is worth $1,000 an hour, spending 1 hour to save $20 on groceries is terrible business. You are a bad CEO of your own life. But two events really slapped the cheapness out of me. First, the Trump tariff scare of April 2025. The markets tanked 25%. I watched years of savings, years of skipping lattes and coupon clipping evaporate in a single morning. It was a joke. All that stress over $12 items? Gone. The market moves 1% and wipes out a lifetime of frugality. That's when I realized hyperfrugality is illogical. It doesn't move the needle. Macroeconomics does not care about your homemade coffee. The second event? I decided to build in Los Angeles. If you want to hate your life, try getting a permit in this city. I thought spending $200,000 on a new unit was a smart investment. I ran the numbers. The numbers lied because they didn't account for the hassle factor. It turned into a grueling, headache-inducing nightmare. We are a year in, $40,000 over budget, and the city demands changes faster than I can write checks. I never calculated the hassle. I only calculated the ROI. That was a rookie mistake. Because of that construction hellscape, I created a new money blueprint. I follow this religiously now. Rule number 1, the 80-20 rule on steroids. 20% of your actions create 80% of the results. I used to chase a 50% return on $100. That's $50. Who cares? Now I chase a 10% return on $1 million. That's actual money. I literally put it on my phone screensaver. Is this a 20% action? If the answer is no, I delete the task. Rule number 2, does this add complexity? If yes, I'm out. I want peace, not a puzzle to solve every morning. Every item you own, every project you start, takes up space in your mental RAM. Your brain never turns off the tracking. I sold a property I loved. Why? Because I hated the mental inventory. The day it sold? Bliss. No tax bills. No insurance emails. No gardener texting me excuses. It was silent. I realized I wasn't optimizing my life by adding things. I was optimizing it by subtracting the garbage. Rule number 3, actually spending the money. This is the hardest one for a recovering cheapskate. But now, if it brings peace of mind, I pay the premium. I don't care about the price tag anymore. I don't spend 30 minutes looking for free shipping codes. I just pay the $5 shipping. My time is worth more than $5. If a contractor costs more but shows up on time? Take my money. I am paying for reliability, not just labor. What is the point of saving if you never deploy the capital to improve your life? That's just hoarding with extra steps. Don't be the richest skeleton in the graveyard. Spend the money to enjoy the ride while your knees still work. Rule number 4, optimizing the hardware. I finally did comprehensive blood work. Doctors usually wait until you are dying to tell you something is wrong. I wanted to know before the engine blew up. Turns out, my thyroid was lazy and my cholesterol was high. I was running a Ferrari on low-grade fuel. Now I take a stack of supplements. And honestly, I feel 10 years younger. I have the energy of a teenager again. Brain fog? Gone. Waking up tired? Gone. Investing in your biology offers the highest ROI of anything. Period. I'm not perfect. I still have the urge to save a penny. But I am closer to balance than I have ever been. Everyone teaches you how to make money. Nobody teaches you how to spend it without having a panic attack. I know, first world problems. Cry me a river. But for savers, this is a real psychological prison. Stepping back allowed me to scale up in ways I didn't expect. We grew the podcast to 1.5 million subscribers. We haven't missed a single episode. That consistency requires mental space. I built a networking group for heavy hitters. From one Instagram story to 3,000 applications. We picked 25 people. Founders, investors, real estate moguls. If you are at that level, maybe you can join us. Link is in the abyss below. Look, I don't usually get this personal. I prefer charts and yelling about the Fed. But if my suffering saves you from turning into a miserable penny-pinching robot, then it was worth it. If you are burned out from over-optimization, stop. Step back before you break something that actually matters. Leave a comment. I might actually read it now that I'm not obsessing over coupon codes. Smash the like button to appease the algorithm gods. It demands sacrifice. Subscribe if you want more truth and less fluff. Start your new blueprint today. Don't wait for the market to crash to wake you up. Time is the only asset you can't hedge. Stop shorting it. True wealth is the ability to say no and go to sleep. Don't be the richest person in the cemetery. It's a lonely title. Money is a tool, not the master. Learn the difference. Reboot your system. Delete the bloatware. Run clean. I'm the analyst. This is Global Capital Signals. Go spend $1 on yourself today. Or don't. Stay miserable. Class dismissed.